Now then, today we're in the woods. I'm in the top end of the county and we've got a bit of work to do. So let's have a look at this first. This block on the left, we're gradually thinning it one end to the other. We've been doing it over 5 or 6 years. Anyway, we're on handheld wobbly camera. So let's just have a wander along here and let's see if we can get in the block and see what's been happening in the various stages. So looking up at the crowns, this was probably thinned, this little bit here was probably thinned 4 years ago, and you can see the crowns have expanded. But like that sycamore there, there's still a gap round it all. So there's light getting onto the floor, which is sort of good. And we've got bramble, which some people might think is a bad thing, but there's a lot of deer in this area, so bramble can help protect regeneration. So let's just have a look through here. You can see a lot of the stools or the stumps have regrown. That red oak there is particularly good. Let's have a look. And in the back there's a few nice conifers to add a bit of diversity, and a bit of larch in there, all sorts of things. And just there's a Norway spruce, and it's really up there. So let's have a wander. So that's a reasonable sycamore. And here's that red oak. As you can see by the big leaves. And it's about 1 inch in diameter at the moment, but I would say 10 foot, 12 foot high. So it's getting on with it. I do like red oak for that reason. It really regrows from the stumps quite well. And here's a sycamore. It's alright. And next to it, just there, that's a red oak. You see it's right up there. Sort of not a brilliant crown, but it's alright. It's sort of fighting with that sycamore next door to it. And a larch there. Anyway, let's have a bit of a further look. We'll just try and... That's not going to work. The ground's too rough and it's going to be too much of a wobbly camera. But as you can see, there's enough light getting through, so we've thinned it, I think, at a reasonable level. So we're getting regeneration. At least the stools are regrowing. And we might get some seedling trees coming through. And just by the side of this pathway here, hopefully we can see it, just there's a sycamore seedling. And another one. So if they can just fight up through the bramble, that'll be fine. So this area was probably thinned 2 years ago. Apart from the noise in the background of the cars, just listen to the bird life here. We just opened it up enough so there's more habitat, but some of the stumps are growing. Where are we? There we go. Firewood for the future. And there's an ash there. It's not particularly brilliant, but it's fairly straight. It obviously has quite a knotty core. And the crown doesn't look too bad. Apart from we've got a, can't really see, side branch there that could get blown off. Next door to it, and you see there's a gap between the crowns, there's a better one. And looking up at the crowns again, a bit further to one side, there's a sycamore, and then we've got this big red oak. That's quite a nice round crown. And you come down the stem and it is quite nice. And I'm guessing that is 18 inches in diameter, something like that. And just looking through there, that's what it was like before we started thinning, and that's the next piece we're going to mark. But the deer are a problem in this area. There's a huge amount of them. So these brambles will probably doing a good thing, keeping the deer off the coppice stools. They're very devils, they are. Let's have a wander down this little pathway. And here we are. And this is an area that was done last year. As you can see, we've got some extraction tracks or roots, and look at the light level. This is quite tall here, so we might come back in here in 5 years time and have another look. It's a bit careful because we're at the brow of a hill here, so we have to be careful of wind blow. But you can see this is what, after a year. And if you notice there, we've got a couple of extra marked that we probably missed when we were marking last time. And that number 3 over there, I don't know whether that is a bit of wind blow into that other one or not, but we marked it anyway. So there you go, wobbly camera. But the light levels are a lot higher than the areas to come. And the birds are still singing. There's more habitat here. So here's another little woodland area. And as you can see through there, we're quite high up, relatively speaking, and this is an area that we very heavy thinning just on a small area. There's 1 or 2 stems there, but look at the regeneration. This is 3 years ago, but we're high up and we're on sand. So it's not as growing as quickly as you would do in lower areas. But it was all sycamore, and now, if I can just get them, we've just got a few ash coming in. Let's just go and have a look. There we go, there's a couple of ash that are blown in, and you can see they've grown 18 inches this year. And some of this sycamore regen is 6 foot, 7 foot tall. Lots of ash regen in amongst it all. Last time I was in this block, these trees were about 10 foot high. So things have moved on a bit. But I just wanted to show you something down the back there. This was an old park, and there's a couple of big Wellingtonias, and there's also a Coast Redwood. So let's just go and have a look. In fact, I think I can see it in there. Let's go and have a look. So here's the base of one of the big Wellingtonias. Let's just go and have a wander. So there's a bit of scale. So it's pretty big. So let's go and have a look at this Coast Redwood. So that Wellingtonia is right on the edge of the central ride in this old park area. And then behind me, and we'll just move round slowly, there's another Wellingtonia there. And we come round some more. And there's a... and round a bit more. And that's what we're looking at. Now, as some people know, that Coast Redwood will coppice from a cut stool or a stump, and that's exactly what's happened here. So last time I was here, I thinned out the shoots, and there's a cut stem, and there's another one just round there somewhere. Anyway, so now there are 3 major stems. Let me just stand back a bit. There are 3 stems, and they go right up there. So isn't that amazing? And just on the floor here, there's one of the stems that's obviously snapped off, has a weak connection with the original stump, but it's still growing. And it's all the way along, and it's still along there like that. So here's that fallen stem. Past that tree and through there. So they'll grow on, hopefully, and if they got a good connection to the soil, which it looks like, they'll grow away into some mighty fine trees. Let's just have a look at the base. And there's a couple of more of the cuts from when I thinned it out. And that stem there has got to be 14 inches in diameter. Brilliant. And I think we'll have to come in here and thin this shortly. See what's happening. That'll do for the moment. Catch up with you soon.